DJs here, back at you with yet another DJs BrewTube beer review. Where you see the DuClaw beer in front of me, you see the Raven's hat on, so you know what time it is. It's time to go local! That's right, guys, we're going local again with some DuClaw beer, and these guys are from where? You know where they're at. Out of Baltimore, Maryland, US of A. Yay, yay! And what beer we're going to have from these guys today? We're going to have a new one. We're going to have their Dirty Little Freak. When I was in college, I knew some dirty little freaks. I liked them. Anyways, that's another story, isn't it? Now, what about the beer? Dirty Little Freak's a brown ale. It's a rotating or maybe a spring serving unless it becomes really popular like Sweet Baby Jesus did. It's 5.8% ABV and 30 IBUs. And this beer for hops, they're using Buggles and Columbus. For malt, they're using, Pale, Caramunic Chocolate, and Melodian Malt, I think it is. I can't remember the last name. That was a funky malt that I hadn't heard of. But anyways, and as an adjunct, they're putting coconut in this. Now, I went to the release party. As you can see, our swag here. Remember, there is no safe word. The Dirty Little Freaks I knew didn't have safe words either. Oh, anyways, that's another story. Anyway, so we got our swag, and they also had a nice beer koozie that came with it instead of a glass like they usually give. So, whatever. So, my friends will use that beer koozie because I don't usually drink beer out of a glass. Anywho, enough about that mess. When I had this beer at the release party, it wasn't my favorite. I thought its flavor was kind of flat, but you know what? When I have these beers fresh at DuClaw, for whatever reason, most of them, save their barrel-aged beers, and maybe like Devil Milk, another one, the flavor just in there. But when I have them out of the bottle, I'm pleasantly surprised. Don't get me wrong, their IPAs are really nice on tap, and their cask beers are awesome, and like Retribution and stuff is good on tap, but even that beer that I like on tap, I prefer it out of the bottle. I don't know what it is with the DuClaw beers. Maybe it's the sanitizer they use in their glasses, like I've mentioned before, in the pubs, but I prefer them bottled. That's just me. Anyway, so let's get the top popped on this, get in the glass, and tell you what's up with a Dirty Little Freak. Hell yeah. That's a cool name. DuClaw's got, I'd say, some of the best marketing in Maryland, that's for sure. Crappy Cherish Rolls be damned. We'll collect yet another DuClaw crown, not like I don't have a million of them. Let's get this bad boy in the glass. Now, when I had this beer reminded me in some ways of the flavor profile, at least caramel-wise, of the Euphoria Toffee Brown Ale. Both are brown ales. That's a little bit different beer. It's a little smaller beer. That's a 5%er. But it had a lot of, wow, I can smell the chocolate and coffee and toffee from here, but it had a lot of those same flavor profiles. So, appearance-wise, it's a darker brown color. I guess that's the chocolate malt, and they're making it darker. There's a lot of ruby hints and glints and even some amber coming through here. It's sort of like burnt caramel looking in some ways, but decent looking beer. Didn't pour much of a head. We got about a quarter finger head there. It's basically like a Everlast sort of foam. No alcohol legs to speak of or glass lacing when I swirl, but pretty decent looking little beer. So let's get a nose on this and tell you what's up in the aroma department. Okay, straight off the bat, up in your grill first is caramel. Getting chocolate and some faint, more faint coconut in the background. Yeah, there it is. When you swirl it, it's coming up more. I've let this come up to about like, I'd say 48, 50 degrees, somewhere in that department. That's where I like to drink beers like this myself. It's got a nice, it's got double at least the aroma of when I had it on tap. When I had it on tap, it smelled like nearly nothing. But this one is way bigger in aroma. Nice, sweet, and it's like it's that sweet flavor. In their advertisement, they make it sound like it'll probably taste like a Samoa cookie. Maybe that's what they were going for, you know, the Girl Scout cookies with the caramel and chocolate on it. But I can get that when I smell it. The coconut's in there, the chocolate, sort of a biscuity malt, and plenty of toffee in there as well. And maybe, yeah, the chocolate too, and the chocolate's sort of a fudgy chocolate. So, let's get a taste on this bad boy. Cheers. Okay, taste-wise, it's also double the taste that I got when I was at the release party. The coconut's definitely there. It's more present for me in the taste than it was the aroma. There's a good bit of caramel in it. Caramel's very strong in this. The chocolate is that fudgy chocolate, but it's almost like Tootsie Roll fudgy chocolate. That kind of taste. And that's the aftertaste. The aftertaste is a bit of like dark chocolate coffee sort of bitterness. Maybe a bit from the Fuggles hops, because it does have a bit of earthiness to it as well. The caramel's in there strong in the aftertaste as well. It's a it's just a medium body, and I think I get a bit of like creaminess, I think, from the coconut. I got that off of R&R Coconut IPA also, and I reviewed it, but I don't think I've ever posted it. I had the coconut curry beer from New Belgium, and that was also a creamy mouthfeel with that coconut, but the coconut's not as pronounced as you may think. The toffee flavor is a lot more dominant, and its toffee caramel flavor reminds me a lot of Euphoria. I've had both those beers. I've had that beer multiple times because I've been drinking that since it probably came out. But anyways, it's a really pleasant beer, and it is way better out of the bottle than it is on tap. Also, the date is on all DuClaw beers now. You know whether it's fresh or not. This one's super fresh because it just came out at time of review, and I'm digging it. It's way better than the bottle, just like I thought it would be. So, what do we give this for a grade? Well, let's see. Rate Beer gives it an 84. Beer Advocate gave it an 84, and I think Rate Beer gave it like an 89. I think I'm going to go for what it is. The flavors are as advertised, especially it's way better than the bottle. The date's there. I think I'm going to give it a... Would I drink it again? That's what I need to decide here to give it a grade. I would drink this again. I don't know if I'd necessarily seek it out. I don't know if I would have it on tap. I would have it out of the bottle again. And this would be a good beer to have around for the ladies. I would think they would like that. So for what it is, and it's as advertised and for its ABV level, I think I'm going to give it an A-. You know, it's just an A-. It's just a 90, just into that range. It could use a little more coconut flavor, I think, but besides that, for a first off, I think it's a good beer, and I would drink it again. So, if you've had this beer, let me know what you guys think. You know, I love the feedback, the quid pro quo. You know, especially I love it when you're drinking my local beers, because you know I'm down with that shit. So, till next time, guys, thanks a million to each and every one of you for watching, and I'd be really thankful if you would think locally, drink locally, and support the craft beer movement. So more of your local guys that are maybe like DuClaw will keep coming out with cool takes and riffs on styles like this beer. So, like I said, thanks a million. Till then, I got nothing but a bunch of love for you and a big ass peace out!